Alright, so hello and welcome everybody. I'm Trumpetman casting on the Beyond the Summer Twitch channel. This is the Gigabyte Dota Masters Tournament. This is Group A. I believe this is Group A action in the first week of the competition. With me is, of course, Gods from Absolute Legends. You're watching Absolute Legends on the Radiant side up against Aeon on the die. This is a best-of-1 series to determine placings in the group stage. But straight up, AL still smarting from that anti-mage yesterday and possibly... I haven't seen your previous matches against Aeon, I don't think, but have they run some really effective anti-mages in the past, or just a straight-out, flat, strong hero?
I think it's just a hero they don't want to verse. They versed this hero twice yesterday. They're probably saying enough is enough. Let's not give another team this hero, which it's a strong hero. It's definitely ban-worthy. I wouldn't say it's a must-ban hero, but I'd say it's worth banning. They're kind of remembering that, hey, Anti-Mage at one point was a must-ban hero. Sure, he sort of slipped out of favor, but he's still a threat, especially with the way... I think teams with their drafting have gotten a bit sloppy. Initially, the reason Anti-Mage stopped getting picked was because teams transitioned into this all-out push strategy. But then when everyone was doing this all-out push strategy, the drafting adapted and teams started doing this mid-game AoE stuff with Tide, Venomancer, Queen of Pain. So they stopped doing the push, and those are the lineups where Anti-Mage can be absolutely devastating. So that's why it's sort of a bit of a rotation, a bit of a cycle where back to the Anti-Mage and is a very powerful hero.
Okay, I see a ton of people in the chat. Actually, a couple of people actually call it, which team am I betting on? I am betting on AL just because I barrack for them as an Australian. It's like football. I'm going for them regardless. Maybe not I barrack for an RB Open, but no. They're Australians, so I'm going to back them up here. I have put all of my GG branches in, and straight up, we've got Broodmother, Lycan, Anti-Mage, Invoker, and Fury on Nature's Prophet. Of course, big dollar signs there being banned. Pretty good. I mean, Aeon here, they banned a pretty decent pusher, pretty decent map control hero, and then they banned one of the better utility heroes in the game. Of course, Invoker, such a great toolbox hero, although when he first came out, you wouldn't have believed it just from the 2 spells you got spammed.
Yeah. Oh. One thing we may actually see here, which I have not seen AL use in months, is Chen. It's been banned every game against them, and I'm almost sure they would first pick it, but by now they haven't used the hero in so long. I don't know, I feel like they haven't actually played with Chen in months because of how often it gets banned. It is going to slip through the pool here, so
I think it's
Kodok
good.
Could get the Chen.
Yeah, we go! Yes! Alright, okay, I love
like
this.
Seeing Chen. Yeah, it's a very powerful hero, and Aeon leaving it in the pool. I don't think it's a must-ban hero or an auto-win hero, but AL, it is obviously a hero they'll almost always first pick when it's left in the pool.
Yes, of course, Godot does some really nasty things, but and Chen just gives you so many options. It just makes your teammates so damn hard to kill if you can get that fast mech. And because he's one of the few junglers who can actually get really aggressive early on. He can jump out at 30 seconds in to go, hello, here's a creep that you can't deal with from the hard game. I've got another stun on hand. I've got almost another hero. I mean, the Furbolg hits pretty much as hard as harder than a hero, than a level 1 hero. So you can just jump out with this kind of damage, or even you can just try and be annoying with wild kids. It is a very versatile hero, and if you get presented with a weak lane, a solo lane like a Windrunner, solo Windrunner, trying to face off against a dual lane, then you have Chen jump out gank, or even just force it to go back. You can get that tower push down really. I mean, that's classic Na'Vi stuff that we've seen in the past, where they go, oh, yeah, let's just jump out with an Enchantress or a Chen at 1 minute in, take 2 towers by 4 minutes, and their mid team is not ready. Their mid team is not ready to deal with it. As I've just realised I left the music on, I'll just turn that off now. But yeah, like the mid player is not ready. He's like only level 2, level 3. He's not ready to rotate and support that lane, so he can't do anything about it. I mean, if he does leave, you can't. If there's a hero like Rasta in the mid or something, you can't afford to. It's just very, very dangerous to leave a hero like that. As we've also got Enigma being...
I like this. This is AL sticking with what really works for them and what they feel they are strong with. They'll pick up the Vengeful Spirit as their other support hero. So Enigma going to be run as a solo. Often we saw Shaitan play it yesterday, did incredibly well. I think it was up against the Windrunner, and we may see that again. And the Vengeful Spirit, the Chen, going to be used as the 2 supports for some carry that Bleak will use. Maybe the Mirana, as you mentioned, they love to use that Mirana.
Indeed, indeed. And guys, if you're just tuning into the VOD, I'm just going to put this message out here. You've missed the first few bands and stuff just because I accidentally left music on in the background and I can't upload. We can't have that uploaded because that will put us at risk of being sued. So you will be tuning into the start right now. So of course you've got Absolute Legends of the Radiant versus Aeon on the die, and you can see the picks and bans here. And of course Chen slipping through, very, very scary in the hands of AL. But Tidehunter, big AoE crowd control, decent as a bit of a bully hero, can get up the front, makes it very hard to slip past He's very if you give him farm, he's very difficult to slip past, to get past, to get to his teammates behind him, because Ravage is just such a show-stopping spell.
Yeah, it's a great skill to use, and we are going to see Aeon pick up a counter jungle of their own. We're going to see some Chen versus Enchantress action as Aeon have picked up the counter jungler. I feel, though, their lanes may suffer. They're going to have Tidehunter in one of their lanes, which isn't the best laning hero, whereas Enigma and Vengeful Spirit are going to offer AL some very powerful lanes, especially if they can get something like that Mirana. And then we'll see a solo middle from Musica, the Queen of Pain, one of his favorites, many more options which he could be using here. So I think AL, with their lineup, they've got the stronger sort of early game, the laning stage, and the Tidehunter, a popular hero for a while. It's got a great team fight, but it does give a big weakness in the Aeon lineup.
Indeed, we'll see. It looks like, well, I've got to say, Enchantress and Chen being picked up, they're two of the best junglers in the game, so we've got a decent jungler on both sides. I've got to say Chen is probably the number one. I'm going to say the burst heal from Chen is going to be a lot stronger. Like, of course, Enchantress, the Nature's Attendants, they do give a massive amount of health back, but the sheer burst heal from Chen, I think, is going to just overpower that. I'm interested to see whether or not we're going to see some kind of carry get picked up by Aeon. I know you've had more experience with these guys than I have. Do you think they might try and try and slot a carry into here, or they're just oh wow, I should have banned the Leshrac. Now Leshrac is something we've seen a lot of actually lately. One of those really strong AoE spam heroes. Plus he's pretty damn good at pushing as well.
Yeah, they will ban out that hero there. It is something that Bleak, initially when the AL first started burst into the scene with Bleak on their lineup, that was when he was using Leshrac a lot, as well as the Silencer. I don't think we'll see a Silencer here. There's not really a sort of the hero that he needs to shut down with that Silence. And we're going to see what they do want to go with here. Aeon, as far as hard carries go, I mean, Anthony's been banned. They may opt for the Morphling. I think if they go for hard carry, that would be the most likely option here. But I think they're going to try to focus on getting up some semi-carries. They've got the wing runner for the side lane. And as for the other lanes, I mean, they maybe going to go for the Queen of Pain themselves. I think that's definitely a hero that we'll see picked up with these last few heroes.
So the Pugna ban as well as Shadow. Shadow Demon does so much. He's definitely very, very annoying to have to face off against. He does a lot of damage with that Shadow Poison. And of course, the Purge and the Banish, very frustrating. I mean, if you're trying to push early, especially with big costs, I mean, Black Hole is relatively expensive. I wonder if they're going for another relatively high mana cost here. Of course, Pugna's Ward is incredibly frustrating in those early team fights. I mean, sometimes I'm tempted in some matches to name the Ward MVP, just the sheer amount of damage you can do if people aren't managing to pick it off. Because, of course, it's also got a stupid long range as well. But I'm very interested to see the next set of picks. What Aeon are going to go with it? Are they going to try and slot another Hunt support? I mean, Enchantress sometimes gets placed as a sub support, but I mean, I think they've got a few options here. They have a relatively flexible lineup. So I'm just wondering what we're going to see out of this Aeon. Do you have any predictions here, Gods?
I expect to see them running. They may go for something like a Crystal Maiden to be their other support and play the Tide as a sort of semi-utility farmer hero. Get up that quick pipe and Arcane Boots. And their last hero, their solo mid hero, maybe Shadow Shaman. Shadow Shaman hasn't been used or picked all that often. And Aeon, up against a team like AL, may want to pull out a lineup with a lot of pushing power, as well as a lineup that can put on some early game pressure. They can make up for the Tide's weak laning by putting on pressure with heroes like Enchantress and Shadow Shaman. And I mean, Enchantress, much better early game pusher than the Chen because you can get up multiple creeps early on. So I think Shadow Shaman would work well for them and could be a hero we may see coming back into play here.
Wow, okay, Night Stalker in a roster. They're going to have some pretty good gank power there. But I don't know. Well, I mean, this is classic international Na'Vi lineup. Actually, the Balinar, the Night Stalker, and the Chen. Night Stalker with Chen. Chen just made it so damn easy for him to dive into those towers. I am interested to see how we're going to see it in the hands of AL. I don't think I've seen this combo. Actually, I don't think I've seen AL run a lot of Night Stalker. Actually, did they? I don't think I do. I haven't seen a lot of it anyway. No.
Not typically, no. We'll probably see Musica playing that as their solo mid hero, unless they want to run that in their sort of dual lane. But I think most likely it will be Musica playing that at mid, and maybe Aeon going to look to exploit that. They're going to pick up a Queen of Pain, so Night Stalker does alright against Queen of Pain simply because he is so tanky, does have high base armor. Sure, Queen of Pain has the range to harass, but I think Night Stalker in that matchup actually comes out alright, not too far behind, and the runes, the ganking that Night Stalker offers is much more powerful than the Queen of Pain once it hits nighttime.
Indeed, he can apply so much pressure. I'm going to say though that right now, Looks like, I mean, I agree, they really could do, Aeon at the moment could do with a secondary support just to take the pressure off Tyner, because he does so damn good when he can get that early pipe, and it's the kind of thing that they kind of want, that they want, because it looks like the Dire, or the AL, they have a lot of push power, they're going to be very active, although they have got Mirana, so they've got a decent late game. I mean, between the Vengeful Spirit Aura, Mirana, and then Balinar's not that great, but then again, if you don't have any late game, he might be enough to tip the scales in their favour, with especially with the VS Aura backing them up. So I'm interested to see what they do. I mean, do you think they might grab a hard carry, like some kind of sort of semi-carry, hard carry in this last slot on Aeon's line, or do you think they'll go for a full-on support?
I think, well, there you go, no, without much question, they're going to go for the Tiny, so by the looks of it, either Queen of Pain or Windrunner is going to be laning with the Tide at that top lane. I think the dual melee Tide Tiny lane is not all that likely. This is quite scary for AL. This gives Aeon a lot of teamfight potential. You can use the Tiny to toss in the Tide Hunter to get an easy Ravage off. This is something that Mouse Sports, they use, yes. They ran the Tiny solid middle. They had the Tide Hunter as, I don't know if they ran him as a farm or just a support hero, but they'd go for the max out toss, get the phase boots on Tiny, and just make Tiny really mobile, toss in the Tide Hunter for a big Ravage, and team fights would just go downhill for the other team from there on out. So it is something to look out for. It is an option for Aeon, or they may just play this a bit more straight up, go for the quick Arcane Boots and Blink Dagger, but either way, they've got some great teamfight potential. Yeah,
I've got to say, that match with Mouse, that was an eye-opener match for me, because I was just sort of, you know, internally, just sort of crossing Tiny off as far as ratings go, and then just suddenly, Aeon just go, not Aeon, sorry, Sing Sing just goes absolutely ballistic with a Tide Under hand grenade. It was absolutely fantastic. It's like, oh yeah, okay, that's right, Tiny has perfect utility with the team, and he's very, very scary when you use him creatively. And of course, I mean, Sing Sing and even Dendi, when we see Dendi play, they go with the whole Mask of Madness and Arcanum Scepter and just go, you know what, this is also in our hands a semi-carry. Because of course, I mean, Tiny, once he gets his ult up, he's swinging for like nearly 400 damage, so you put some attack speed on him. He hits pretty damn hard, just demolishes towers. Looks like Chen, well actually no, AL just doing their patent 5-man sweep up here. Although Balinar lagging behind a bit, music are a little bit slow out of the gates. And Aeon doing the exact same thing on the Dire side, just coming down into the Radiant jungle, sweeping through. Looks like they'll probably plant these cannibals. The question is, where are we going to see this Enchantress Chen go? Are we going to see aggressive junglers, or are they going to sit in their own sides?
A bit of mind games going on at the moment. I think both teams, I think AL are hoping to have the Enigma versus the Windrunner at bottom, and then maybe run Tri-Lane versus Tri-Lane at top. Chen, thinking about it, I think Chen may say top. It looks like, like I said, not sure what we're going to see here as, yeah, the Chen, the Vengeful Spirit, they're lurking around top, so I think they'll stay there. The fact they've warded behind the tower and not blocked the pull, VS and Chen are going to be at top by the looks of things, and the Enchantress is going to be at bottom, so Shaitan is going to have to play very cautiously, because Enchantress can come out with 2 creeps, and that's a fairly easy kill on Shaitan, so definitely going to be a hard lane for him.
Well, yeah, as long as he gets some decent creeps, sometimes you get some really shockingly useless ones. But I mean, double nets or even double stun could really help him lock it down. And I agree, Shaitan is in a bit of a pickle here. So both teams getting aggressive here, and just wondering if they can. I just wonder if we'll see some really early safe lane towers go down. Now, both teams have put down those lane wards, giving them plenty of vision for TP counter ganks. But I'm kind of feeling here, it will be a little bit harder for Queen of Pain to farm, but at the same time, I think she's in a little bit more danger from getting locked down and taken out there, just because Enigma can try to remote farm with his Eidolons, and he can also just sort of help control his lane with the knights a lot. You see there he is, denying away with the Eidolons, very, very effective. Although here comes the gank, here comes the Enchantress, the Stomp going to come to the center, the Gush is down, and Shaitan for the first blood, there we go, gets taken out. That is the danger, like you said, guys.
He does not have the escape mechanism. Queen of Pain at top can blink away from any Chen gank, and they'll have that kill will be much harder. The Enigma is just so vulnerable at bottom. Going to TP back in, but if Enchantress picks up another creep, he's already done that Shackle Shot on Shaitan. Shaitan could get stunned by the center again. Shaitan going to TP in, instantly die. That is a massive mistake, misplay by him. 2 deaths in about 5 or 6 seconds time.
And Enchantress grabbing whatever creep she can find. In fact, she's got a wolf here. The Alpha Wolf just actually, they could go and put a lot of damage on this tower. And actually, no, she's wasting that wolf. That aura, don't want to waste that. Does keep the wolf alive. I mean, they could try and stack some damage to this tower, because Shaitan is probably just going, you know what, screw that. This is not working. And it looks like he's just going to go in jungle and sack that tower. because I've got to say, but I mean, how long is he going to be out of jungle for? There you go, he's pinging for help. I mean, he's not even going to be out of jungle for that long because they're going to leave Windrunner down here, and they're just going to, or rather, Enchantress down here, and then Tide and that are just going to roam around and hunt him. I mean, what is he to do? What do you think Shaitan could possibly do in this situation?
He's trying to just get some levels in jungle. He knows they're not going to... They want to get this tower before they try and hunt him down. And once they get the tower, he can maybe use that tier 2 tower, try farm near there. And by that point, the Vengeful Spirit can maybe get a TP in. So if they try tower dive him, we'll see some counter ganks. We'll also see Bleak solo in that mid lane. It's much easier for him to come gank if Aeon try to push the tier 2 tower. So Aeon has to be careful while pushing the second tower. But the first tower, we're going to see taken out already by the Windrunner.
I've got to say, this is something that I don't see that often. The solo mid run, I have not seen this in quite some time, so I'm interested to see what Bleak does with it. Now, Tiny did go with a bit of an eco build, went for a fast bottle. He's got a haste stored up in there right now. As I'm just looking at Queen of Pain. Her farm is not fantastic. 5-1. She is under a lot of pressure, but at the same time is not giving away kills. Shaitan, unfortunately, definitely struggling as of right now. And here comes that hunt. Tynan going, you know what, I've got nothing else to do, I might as well go have a poke around, disrupt Enigma's farm some more. Enchantress just jungling away as per usual, and they're just trying to maximise their farm here. They're going to leave Windrunner.
And look at this Tynan, he's going deep into the enemy jungle, putting down a ward. That's going to help them hunt Enigma, as well as know when it's safe to push this tier 2 tower. As Enigma needs to be careful. Hasted Tiny, going to find him. I don't know if there's enough damage though. He pops the combo, not as well as he would have liked.
That was a very late combo. I don't think that even comboed
yeah, I don't
there.
think I'm about to say. When I say combo, he popped both spells, but there was no combo whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he could have killed him if he'd actually landed that correctly, but hang on, I mean, he might be complaining about lag. I know if Dreams were complaining quite heavily about lag. Meanwhile, though, this ward is definitely fantastic. Shaitan in some serious trouble. Doesn't realise that he's spotted. I think he must know for sure now that they know he's in here. Like, they've got a ward up there. They must know. They must know now, because they're gunning for him so damn hard. And now Bleak, I think he's feeling the pressure. He knows there's some danger behind him. Godot now coming to help along with Snoopy. And they're going to land a stun. There's a stun down on top of Enchantress. She's got the mana up, though. Will pop Nature's Attendants and will back away successfully. And I think she might have actually stolen a Sata Hellcaller there. I'm just checking the health on it. I actually don't know if she stole that or if she had that before.
I think she had that before. Night Stalker top music has gone for the quick earn, but he's been sharing the XP a bit with the supports. Come nighttime, he needs to maybe look for some ganks, but he's only going to be maybe level 5, level 6. And this Queen of Pain at top, managing to get some levels of her own up to level 5. Not the best farm, but hey, up against that Tri-Line has done very, very well. AL finding themselves definitely behind at this point. And I think they did err a bit with their landing stage, putting that Enigma soloing bottom against that tough Enchantress jungle.
Oh yeah, there was not much Shaitan could have done other than not teleport straight back out and die again. But yeah, I mean, Aeon have done exactly what they should have. Just put a ton of pressure to go, you know what, this is a weak lane. You presented us with a weak lane, let's just take towers. There's no way you can attempt to hold this. Let's just try and put that early money on the board. Thanks to the tower kills. And I don't think they could have done it any better. Picking out 2 kills was just the icing on the cake. I mean, worst case scenario, they could have just sent him back. There's the silencer on top of Queen of Pain. Gets stunned as well and slowed. Gets cleaned up. And I'm going to say, if anything's going to turn this game around, it's going to be Musica's first night. We're going to see what he can do in about 40 seconds or so. See what kind of damage he can unleash with the Night Stalker. I'm really hoping he doesn't just sit up there and farm. That would disappoint me to no end. Also, interesting thing to know, apparently, currently, Enchantress and Chen sort of bugged. Of course, when Chen dominates creeps, he does add permanent extra health to them. So if Enchantress and Chen keep swapping creeps and Chen keeps taking them back, you will pretty much just infinitely add strength or add pure health. Yeah.
Not with Enchantress, because they do time out.
Oh, no, like, I mean, in the fight, like, say Chen comes to the fight, Enchantress steals one, and Chen immediately steals it back, it gets extra health.
The timer's still on it, though. The timer's still on there,
Oh, even when Chen takes it back?
Yeah, the timer will be on there. Once Enchantress takes it, the timer is there permanently.
Okay.
So it's like a summon. It's like if Chen steals a Beastmaster Cool Beast, the timer is still there. So it only works if you can only go infinitely high if you have 2 Chens in the game.
No, I saw a post I read, someone got it up to 15,000 health. They were just spamming it to see if it would work, and it did. But Tiny with an Invis Rune, I think that's pretty much, Tiny with an Invis Rune is pretty much a free kill there and then. Whenever he decides to find someone to kill, he's just going to kick their ass with it, provided he can land the combo. I mean, we saw him go for pretty much a free kill, should have been a kill, and then just mess the combo up, so, I don't know, we'll see what happens.
Bleak at mid lane's farming alright, he's up to 29 CS, we see, I mean, AL, they're not that far behind on farm. Shaitan 24, Godot 18, 25 on Musica. They've got 4 heroes with decent last hits, partly in the jungle there. The problem is, though, they're starting to get their towers pressured a bit, as Enchantress with Tide are at top. Tide only level 4, though, so as far as the XP is concerned, it's pretty much even, and without the Tide Ravage here, AL can still make some things happen in this first nighttime, because they don't have to be scared of that big team fight coming from Aeon just yet.
Yeah, the mid-game team fights definitely will be a bit troublesome, of course. The Ravagers are going to be something that they're going to be hell deal with. But we've got to remember, even though it looks grim right about now, of course, AL do have the better late game. They, well, I suppose it depends how well Enchantress is. But I'm willing to bet, I'm pretty sure that Mirai can edge him out there with the help of the VS Aura and the Balinar backing her up. What's your prediction there, Gods? I feel that Mirana is a good enough semi-carry to win this one out, to edge this out against Enchantress.
I mean, you can look at how the lineup's doing late game, but this game isn't going to be decided by the late game lineup. It's going to be decided in the mid game, who gets the better fights then, and then whoever has the better mid game is going to win the late game. That's how I see it going down. Tiny looking for the Godot, but Chen at bottom. There he goes. Not going to get the combo. The toss went onto the creep, and Godot will salve on up. So he manages to escape there, and the action at top. Tide gonna misses the arrow. Bleak not going to get that kill, and Enchantress is going to be the next target they switch to. Musica needs 5 more mana before he can use another nuke. It looks like they want to chase down this Enchantress, though.
He should be able to get... There we go. There's the stun as well. The Malefist popping out, causing trouble. Queen of Pain going to back up success, but that is, like I said, I really feel if anything's going to keep this game even, Stevens, it's going to be Balinar's first night. We're going to see how much damage can Musica do. And let's just look at his build at the moment. He did go... He went for an early earn. I'm just checking if anybody's bottled on the Radiant side. Mirana, no, she's gone. Bleak did grab himself a Wraith Band. I'm guessing an Aquila Ring might pop out. We see that a lot on Mirana, just because it's a really fantastic... Uh-oh, Hasted Tiny. This is a dead Enigma. Gets taken out there, along with the nukes. The 8 of the nukes there from Queen of Pain. I think I heard some popping on a mic there. Gods, you still with me, dude? Your camera's frozen. I think I've lost Gods. Never mind. We'll try and get him back.
I'm just back here. Sorry about that. No, all good.
I just heard the mic pop and the camera freeze. I'm like, uh-oh, connection issues. But no, we're still here. We're still good. And this Tiny, if during that last gank, though, Tiny managed to get that level 6. Like you said, the late level 6 meant that AL were not scared. They were quite happy to push in. And Tiny went, you know, actually screw this, I'm just porting out, and left them to die. Had he had the Ravage up, it would have been a very different story. I think AL would have been a lot more hesitant about charging in there. Meanwhile, Musica not bothering, and I think this is smart, not bothering with his ultimate, because obviously as a dual lane he's slightly behind levels. Normally you see the Balinar solo mid, so skipping the level 1 darkness, which honestly it's not fantastic. You just use it. If you've got the levels to spare, you might as well just spam it as soon as possible, just to extend the night phase as much as you can. But he's decided, you know what, no, I had decided a little bit behind the levels, let's just get the damage and the speed running around. There we go, he's level 7 now, he's got the Void maxed out, and he might even try to hunt the jungle some more.
Really good point with the ultimate there. If he was solo mid, probably would have picked it up. Because he's under-leveled, won't go for that. And right now, Tidehunter's still not level 6. He's actually been left alone at mid to try and maybe get that ultimate. I think Aeon know they need that to deal with this AL lineup in this first nighttime. Without Ravage, they are going to be quite vulnerable to ganks. They're going to be relying solely on Tiny for kills. Tiny has actually smoked at bottom lane. He's looking to back up this Windrunner. Maybe have a bit of a bait going on. Windrunner getting close-ish to finishing off that quick mech as AL want to push down the tier 1 tower, and Tiny.
Surprise Bud 6, there goes Shaitan again. He has died all 5 times. 2 to 5, and all of those belong to Shaitan at the moment. That is probably frustrating him to no end, although at the same time, at the very least, it means that Bleak is getting his farm on and it's not being pressured too much. And I think that was very smart by King there, just hiding, because he knew that they wanted to push. They saw the low health there, and there we go. Vengeful Spirit going to get sent home there by Chen. Well, Godot going to continue running, going to try and get the hell out of there while saving Snoopy.
Yeah, really nice positioning by Tiny there. That's one of those positions and ganks that I've never seen anything like that from Tiny in a lot. I've never seen Tiny use that position in Dota 2, and that was some nice innovation coming from him, King. Bleak at mid, though, is farming fairly well still. He has not really been touched all that much. He's 46 CS. Musica is actually on 51, so both Musica and Bleak both farming up well. So AL not as far behind as they may be seen, and they are going to have to be careful now. Tide and Queen of Pain both level 6. Tiny level 8. A lot of magic burst damage coming out from Aeon the next couple of minutes.
You know, for the amount of, like, he's died 5 times, so he's died once every 2 minutes almost, a little bit more than 2 minutes. For the amount of times he's died, I'm surprised that Shaitan is doing, like, he's 44 and 6, that's not not awesome, but not, like, I really thought with that many deaths it would have been a lot worse. And now we got 5 seconds of stun. 5 seconds of stun incoming. There we go. There's a dead Tiny. Queen of Pain trying to back him up, but it's not going to happen. And she says, alright, just backing out here. Now, it looks like she's trying to grab herself a fast Argon as Queen... Oh, no, Enchantress gets taken out there. Gets stunned to oblivion. Chen just taking one of his centaurs. Oh, actually, no, I'm not sure if that was his or someone else. Never mind. I noticed before that Chen was having all of his centaurs stolen mid-fight by Enchantress. She was being very, very...
So damn.
Yeah, she was being a jerk. Chen just like, well, I'm out of stuns now, bugger.
Yeah. And Aeon are looking to go in here. Tide is in the jungle with the Rabbit. She gets spotted. Nice howl coming out from Snoopy. Tide just looking to run the front lines, force something to happen. Bleak maybe going to have to leap. Yep, she does. Does not want to get Ravaged there, as I think Aeon need to back up Snoopy in range of the Tiny, and Snoopy will go down here. Shen, the Persuasion, not going to come. Snoopy ran back in a bit there. Pays for that one.
He did indeed. Chen going for the save. Didn't pay off though in the end. Snoopy just not tanky enough to ride it out. Which, I mean, he's a support PS. A low level support PS. Wasn't going to happen really. Now Tiny has picked up Arcane's only 600 or so gold, unless that's a dagger coming out. No, it's not. It looks like most of a mech. In fact, I think that is the mech finished. And who's that? There's Windrunner finishing that up. Who? What have we got on Chen? Chen though doesn't have that kind of money. Did go for fast Arcanes. Fair enough. I see a Soul Ring on Enigma. Enigma working on a Bracer. Just trying to bulk up there, making sure he doesn't die repeatedly to this Tiny as well as everything else. Nice Stalker. Not much else as well. Went for phase. So no early mech, no early pipe at the moment. I think this might mean AL might suffer just a little bit in these upcoming team fights, especially since we've got the Ravage hand grenade ready to go. Yeah,
well, Enigma and Chen are the two heroes you'd see the pipe and mech on. Probably Enigma will go for a pipe a bit later on, but right now he just has to tank up, and he's just going for a couple braces here. I think it's a smart decision, but it is going to mean that that pipe mech do come a bit later. Arrow going to go looking. There's the toss in on the Tide. Ravage only on Musica though. Musica does not have the ultimate, and he's going to get shackled, taken out. Meanwhile, Bleak did take out the Tiny, so 1-for-1 trade, and Musica actually going to buy back, and Black Hole Shaitan. Tidehunter without the Ravage anymore. This is looking good for AL. They're going to take out the Queen of Pain, and Musica in the middle will get shackled, but they will be able to finish off the Tidehunter, and Bleak wanting to hunt down the Windrunner. Not going to be able to do so, but that's the fight AL needed.
And I mean, you might say a bit of a rage buyback there from Knights, but I mean, they got two extra kills. I mean, he doesn't really need his cash that much. He wants early levels. That extra experience from those ganks, I think, was well worth the buyback. Because I mean, he's only level what? It was only like level 6, level 8, so it wasn't a huge cost in money there. I mean, you see there, he's already up to 12, but he just spent his money again. I think he bought. Looked like it might have been. Yeah, it was an Ogre Club.
You can see how much the buyback was, and he only spent 430 gold on buyback there. And that is, this early in the game, I mean, buyback at sort of 12, 13 minutes in, it's really cheap. And if there's a team fight happening by a tower, buyback, TP in, it can catch your opponents by surprise. And that's just what Musica did there, as we are going to see AL take out their first tower. And that's going to help them catch up a bit. That gold graph, I imagine, is going to jump up a little. Right now, Aeon up by about 3k gold. The XP, though, is where Absolute Legends are actually leading, though. So that's going to help them team fight a bit better. They can make up for those levels with better spells.
Indeed, indeed. Now Tiny has got 1400 gold saved up. Looks like he's going for that all-important Blink Dagger. Now, if he can get that in the next minute or so, that will cause some trouble, just because, well, Musica is not going to be ready to help gank, and it's going to be Tiny's time to shine, time to put some pressure on. The question is, can he pick it up quickly? I don't think he's really. He might only get it towards nearly in the next night time. So I'm really hoping he doesn't get it. But here, right now, we've got the jungle happening over here. The double jungle, of course. This just making sure. Well, actually, no, they're not maximising the farm because they're not using the top lane to farm. But I guess there is a bit of a threat up there. Of course, Balna, as well as Enigma rolling around. Now, Enigma, like you said, he's trying to bulk up. Shaitan is trying to prevent himself from getting instantly KO'd in every single fight. He has bought a whole bunch of strength on. He's got that all-important soul ring just to help him out. But he's just got a couple of braces. He's got the bracer, he's got the gauntlet, he's built strength treads, and oh wow. Oh, there we go. Bleak actually going for an early ult this time. Last time we saw him run, he didn't get it.
Yeah, he's got it level 1 there. I think they were expecting a more aggressive gank coming in there. As soon as Shaitan was really well positioned there, sort of spotting them out in the jungle as they were looking to gank Musica, and created room for them to escape. And meanwhile, they spot A on top. They say, okay, let's push bottom. This tier 1 tower only being protected by a Windrunner currently, and they can easily run away if someone does try TP in and stop them.
Indeed, I agree. So I think Chen just sent, it's one of his creeps, one of his sent a hero home there. But yeah, there is a bit of conflict incoming. Windrunner moving in, Titanhunter is moving in. He's got Ravage up and ready to go. Snoopy is dead already, gets nuked into oblivion. The power shot's doing way too much damage. And now the Windrunner windrunning in. Can they land a shackle on Bleak or something? Doesn't looks like they're going to gun for Chen here. Oh, Godot going for the juke. Do they know where he went? No, they don't know where he went. Queen of Pain though has found him. Now he's going to run. He's going to run as fast as he can. Going to try and TP out. Here it comes. There's the TP. Ravage is up though. Can he get away? Shackle going to stop him. Nice try. Very nice try.
Yeah.
Did not quite pay off. Unfortunately.
And I think that Holy Persuasion on that Centaur meant, well, Chen could no longer send back the Vengeful Spirit on one of his teammates, so that did cost AL a bit at bottom lane. They are creating room for Musica farm while it's daytime. Musica are going to be going for the BKB. Mid lane, Blink on Tiny, trying to combo Shaitan, but he's tanked up, and they're going to get the kill on Enchantress. Blink is going to go for the kill on Tiny. Tiny's combo is on cooldown.
2 seconds
as
to
Shaitan needs to get the hell out of there. Power shot going to go completely off in the wrong direction. Shaitan will survive for now. Windrun, there's going to be a power shot up soon. Chen heal, gosh, Shaitan, one more right click, the tight Ravage will get Shaitan. Snoopy in trouble as well. Windrunner will have a shackle, and Snoopy going to find himself getting taken out. And Aeon, ooh, a nice sequence of events there, as they get a couple more kills in their favor.
Yeah, it's a good couple of ganks there, and that's just that last ring of tentacles just grabbing Shaitan and bringing him back there, taking him out. Now, what is Bleak? Bleak just got something. Looks like, oh, okay. What have we got there? Okay, he's building a Manchester. I was just wondering. He just randomly he got the ultimate orb, which fair enough. You got the money for it. It does tank you up just a bit. And it's definitely helpful. He will need some help. Doesn't want to be made of glass against Tiny. Doesn't want to be sporting just phase boots and a Yasha against a Tiny who's ready to blink in and combo him, especially, or even just throw a Tidehunter in his face. That obviously would not be much fun either. So I think the right choice was indeed grabbing the ultimate orb just to bulk up a little bit. Meanwhile, Night Stalker is completely visible. How about Night Stalker? Like, I mean, I've got to say, Aeon have dominated this last couple of engagements. They have won a couple of good skirmishes, picked up a couple of kills, but it is daytime. Night Stalker is on his smoko break. He's about to hit work again. He's about to start working hard. Going to take him down a notch, I think. Going to cause some trouble. And he's got the level 11 up. He's got level 11 up. He's got pretty much everything he wants. Just wants to get a few more levels of Grippling Beard to extend the timer. But obviously, he's looking pretty dangerous to see a courier bringing out a Mithril Hammer for... Is that for Tiny? It is for Tiny. What is it? No. Oh, wait, no, he's bringing out something else. No, he's bringing out, I think, yeah.
Oh, the courier. The courier for Aeon gets actually taken down to half HP with a one right click from Mirana. Almost got a second one, not going to happen. And the good thing about this Night Stalker is during daytime, you often see Night Stalkers looking around saying, oh, where can I farm? I can't do much, it's daytime. But this daytime, Musica was basically free farming the entire daytime, which is not what you normally see happen, because Night Stalker is a hero during day, easy to gain, and not a great farmer. But this Musica managing to have room to farm because of those skirmishes, which were going Aeon's favor, but Aeon were making the best of that, as they're not falling that far behind on farm. Bleak getting close to his Mantis Style, Musica close to his BKB. Things, I'd say, are fairly even. Aeon with a slight advantage because of that tower lead.
Indeed. And I mean, they were chased. I mean, they got some good kills, but mostly, for the most part, they took out supports. I mean, they killed Vengeful. They killed. Yeah. I mean, they killed Vengeful and Godot twice each. So it was mostly supports dying there. It's Shaitan. DC's. Is he in danger? Where is he? Let me find him. No, he is perfectly fine. And I see that AL are trying to regain some control on this side of the map, trying to just take the pressure off. They've got the counter wards up, just trying to bring that map control. I'm not sure if that counter ward has spotted anything. I don't think it did. I don't think I've seen any dire wards go down in that particular spot.
No, none at the moment, but right now Godot's getting close to his mech. I think we'll see Shaitan going for the pipe. It'll be a very slow pipe, but he could still have it up by maybe around sort of the late 20-minute, around 30-minute mark, and that'll still be what Aeon need to fight this Aeon lineup, which doesn't really have a hard carry. They're relying on the Queen of Pain to get nice and big. Same goes for the Tiny as well. Tiny who already has that Blink Dagger, but late game potential, I mean, Aeon, they don't have much, but the mid game is going to decide it. So Aeon just have to make sure they don't get completely dominated in the mid game, and then they should be okay. Yeah,
I agree. As long as this game doesn't end, or like just as long as Aeon don't create a huge, like a pretty decent lead in the mid game, it's going to be very difficult them going into late, just because obviously they just don't have the same amount of firepower that AL are rocking in this late game. But, you know, as we saw, Anti-Mage versus Mirana, it just came down to controlling that mid-game against Mith for Aeon, and they generally managed to cinch that out relatively easily, although we've got the arrow going through, just scouting out, and I don't think that spotted them up, but I did see the Roshan was missing. And they might need to keep an eye on this. Now, Mirana has popped the Moonlight Shadow. Now, is Balnar going to try and make something happen? Doesn't look like it. They're thinking about it.
He's only a couple hundred gold. He's only a couple hundred gold from BKB, so Aeon may want to wait here, but it looks. Are we going to see maybe the Tiny toss in the Tidehunter? That could be bad for AL as Tiny takes out Snoopy, and we're going to see a 4v5 from the start. Tide gets a nice ravage off at mid, but in comes an arrow from Bleak. Tidehunter looks like it will go down, and the Chen, the mech, the heals being popped from both teams as Queen of Pain has actually finished a BKB, and Tidehunter will survive.
Yeah, of course, that mech was what kept him up. And like I said, that mech was going to cause a bit of trouble once they got up. And there goes some Chen Creep getting shackled and taken out. They're Tiny though blinks in. He's got the blink dagger. Hammers Godot. There is the ult. The scream as well. Big black hole though. Can Musica get back in? He's trying to heal up. They nearly take so. I think Queen of Pain goes down there. They're also going to take out Enchantress. Tiny now retreating. He's got the blink up though. He's got the combo up in 3 seconds. Just tosses Shaitan on top of Bleak. Bleak goes down. Tidehunter still in this fight somehow. Might go down. Pops his magic wand to heal up. I hear a stun there from Snoopy. Snoopy now needs to get the hell out. Not Tiny not having any of that. Hurls him back into trouble. Power shot goes through. Chen loses his last creep, I believe. And that was not a good result. Down goes the Radiant. They get destroyed in that fight. This mid-game team-fight, the Ravage causing all sorts of hell for them, plus losing that pick-off. I think, was it Chen who got picked off?
It was Venture Spirit at the start, so Venture Spirit actually died twice in the one team fight, more or less. And Aeon, just with the mech up, they Ravage, they have everything they need. And that shackle shot at the end, it seems like it was like not even a straight line. It was like a 45-degree angle or something, but it somehow landed, and that caused the ceiling blow for AL, as they had both Night Stalker and Night Stalker and Enigma shackled together. And Aeon are going to go for Roshan here, and they think they can do this. They popped the mech, and they've got this survivability they need. They just don't have that much damage.
Yeah, well, I feel Aeon, they're looking really strong at the moment. I'm just wondering what is Enchantress. She's gone for this sort of semi-support, but she has gone for the fast against the supporter team. I'm wondering if we'll see an Argonims on her next. And also, who I think will probably try. I'm kind of betting they'll try and give this to Queen of Pain. They can, although here comes Shaitan. Musica moving in. Will they get the Rosh? It doesn't look like the forward goes out on Tiny. Tiny in some trouble. He gets taken out, and the Rosh is going to get stolen. This is a fantastic turnaround for Al. They could not have asked for anything better. Aeon was so damn close to finishing that up and bugging out successfully. Unfortunately, stayed slightly too long. And they lose that Aegis. However, Tidehunter gets enough money to buy himself a blink, so he no longer needs to be a hand grenade for Tiny.
Yeah, that'll help him out a bit, but I mean, that's what happened. You can see Aeon, they aren't going to have the late game DPS. They could hardly even take down Roshan there. I mean, they could have, but AL came because they just took so damn long. Their damage, their right-click damage is just non-existent, and AL really punishing them there for that Roshan attempt, and that just goes to show if they've got no physical damage, all AL need to do is get up the pipe, the mech. They've got the Chen heal. If Chen hits level 11, they get the pipe up on Shaitan. I think the team fights will start to swing in AL's favor.
I think so, indeed, as well. I'm just looking at items there on the Dire side. Windrunner has the 4-stuff up. She's got a mech up. Still just that BKB on the Queen of Pain. I thought she was going to go for the fast Argonims, but I was completely and utterly wrong. Tidehunter. Yep, still the blink. Tiny appears to be building himself an Argonim Scepter by looks of it. We might be seeing Sing Sing and Dendy style Mask of Madness come out.
Aeon need to get their damage from somewhere, and the hero they've got probably most suited to that is going to be the Tiny. And they've got the backup. I mean, with the Tried Ravage, the Shackle Shots, maybe Tiny, with an Ag Scepter, with a Mask of Madness, can take out some heroes in these fights.
I think it's definitely, once he gets his cricket bat, I think he can do it. We've seen Dandy, we've seen Sing Sing do it. It does hit like a complete truck. It is very hard to stop once he starts, especially with the lockdown. They've got some decent lockdown there. They've got a good Shackle. They've got Ravage, obviously one of the better stuns in the game. They've got Avalanche. They can do this, I think. If Tiny can get his items together, he could try and cause some damage. I don't think it will be as good, but I think it might be enough to get them through what they need to do. As long as they can hold some kind of advantage going into the late game, or even just, just build some kind of advantage in the mid game would just be decent either way. But right now, Enchantress is going to move up. No, she doesn't have Enchant. She actually hasn't picked up. She's only level 8.
Enchantress.
That's low.
Man, this XP graph is actually fairly even, but it's all going to a couple heroes here. Windrunner level 14, Tiny level 13, but Enchantress is going to be complete food in these fights. 750 HP. That's a concern for Aeon, because Enchantress is one of the heroes they have that can actually do some damage. You've got the Impetus, That's as far as physical damage goes. So it's physical damage, but the
Pure
extra damage is pure damage. Yeah, so that's a hero they need to be getting those levels and tanking up a bit, I feel, with their lineup.
Yeah, I mean, I was about to call, like, Intouchables is one of the more annoying passives when you're trying to just right-click something to death, and there I was, hang on, she doesn't have it, she's only level 8, that is, I don't know what, I guess she must be getting picked off in the fights before, how many deaths is she on? She's sitting on, only 4 deaths, she got 4 assists, I don't know. I don't know.
Spending too much time ganking and moving around the map to push towers, and not enough time just getting some farm in the jungle. Enchantress, yeah, only 48 creep kills. If you look at Godot's up to 67. And, well, Godot, I mean, that's normally, you normally see Godot with a lot more, even on a hero like Chen, as both teams trading towers. Aeon needs to get back, though. Their tier 3 tower is going to be under pressure soon, but like we saw earlier, Aeon, they can't do much damage. Towers, you can't throw spells at, obviously, and that's going to mean they can't really push down towers all that quickly. Musica, Shackle, can't pop the BKB. The Tide Rabbit, is it going to keep Musica alive? It should, with the invis from the Mirana, and Snoopy going to get sent back to base, heal himself up. And now AL on the chase. There's no Ravage coming into play anymore.
Black Hole, there we go. Catching 3 heroes. Tidehunter is stuck in it as well. Tiny almost getting cancels it though with an avalanche. Shaitan taking a lot of damage. I've got to say, great save on Musica from Snoopy before, swapping him out of the fire. As it looks like Musica is still pretty low. They might go down still anyway. The toss is back up. Tiny giving a throw. Musica falling low again. Loses another. Earn charge, gets knocked off almost immediately, and unfortunately Mirana going to bring down Queen of Pain there. She's run out of BKB time. Mirana still with the Aegis though, so I think she can afford to pressure them if she wants to. Snoopy now moving back up. He has returned from the base, a blink away there from Tidehunter, and it looks like he's going to teleport on out home. And this skirmish will end, but I've got to say, I think the Dire coming out second best in that engagement, didn't even manage to get... they took out Shaitan, I think, and that was about it.
Yeah, Bleak, is every fight he seems to be getting a kill here or there. He's farming up well, and you can just see Aeon's lineup, great early to mid-game presence, but it's going to start fading out as this game goes on, because they haven't done enough. Their lineup, they needed to completely crush AL early game. They did that fairly well with the Enigma, but Shaitan doing the smart thing, saying, okay, I'm just going to go farm some neutrals, get up some braces, and now AL, they've tanked up, they've got BKB on the Night Stalker. Mirana, 2k gold, Manta style. I mean, I think AL are doing okay. They'll slowly just catch up. The gold graph in Aeon's favor, but I don't think that's going to last for long.
I mean, there hasn't been a huge... Like, about the only point that was a significant difference was about the 22-minute mark when Aeon was sitting on... The Dire was sitting on about a 5,000 lead, but... Yeah. Other than that, it has definitely come back. In fact, the XP graph now in favor of the Radiant once again. Actually, that's been a lot of swings. Actually, it's been back and forth. It has definitely been back, and I'm willing to bet that coincides with night times, actually, of Balinar's ganking. Yeah, the turnarounds coincide with that. Just, you know, he gets off his Smoko break and just gets stuck in. But Balinar has finished his BKB. He also has, looks like he's building an Arcanum Scepter.
Yeah, I'd say that's quite likely. We'll see that coming up, and then with that, he's going to have a lot of, I mean, he gets sort of the legal map hack where he can just see anything coming in, and that's going to give AL the ability to avoid those blink-ins from the Tidehunter. Tidehunter can't blink in from Fog, as he does get the unobstructed vision with the Ag Scepter.
Yeah, or even a Tiny, you know, skulking around the back, looking to try and pick off one of the heroes at the back like Chen. Because, I mean, they could nail Chen early, because he's the guy carrying the mech. If they can pick him off fast, if they get rid of him before he can pop Hand of God and mech, that is a huge boost, so it will help them protect their backside as well. But I am looking at here. Tidehunter has gone and picked up himself up an urn. Enchantress went for drums. She's kind of low on money now again. Windrunner appears to be saving up for a hex, still with that 4 staff in the mech. 2 fantastic items. I think Queen of Pain just had something. Oh, wow. Okay, there is a gem. They're trying to prevent the Moonlight Shadow initiate. Now, they've had Dust to help deal with it before, but they decided, alright, let's get a full-on gem to help deal with these Moonlight Shadows. I think that's a perfectly good choice. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I totally agree. They need that. They need to make their lineup work now, because it's not going to work later on in the game. So countering everything AL have, counter the Moonlight Shadow with the gem, and get up those items as early as possible. Tiny getting close to the Ag Scepter, about 300-400 away, and if they can get that before their next push, it is going to be daytime. Musica has the ultimate. That's not going to last. Oh, Tiny blinking, not going to hit, and down goes the Moonlight Shadow. They need to be careful. They don't know Aeon have a gem here.
And Balinar just popped Nighttime. He's going to get on the warpath here. The Shackle goes down, catches Bleak. He is stuck to a tree or something. As I'm watching Balinar just give chase and blink away there. But unfortunately, oh, didn't see her. Enchantress will escape by the looks at swinging around the backside. And she won't even get spotted by any wars. Very lucky to Tidehunter blinking. I think Musica just heard the blink and said, screw it, Tidehunter's gone. I don't think anybody else is up there. and just gave up on the pursuit.
Enchantress getting a bit lucky there. Aeon will probably back off and just farm. There's a decent farm at the top lane. They can farm out their neutrals. Now, they're in no rush, and this is something we see often from them. Once they feel they're in a fairly comfortable position, that they're not behind, they'll slow things down. They'll try just step by step increase their lead, get the items they need, as we will see Enigma maybe looking to pick up that Blink Dagger. We'll see Drums being picked up. We'll see Bleak looking for his next big item, which will be the MKB, which is 1,500 away from.
And Tiny just got his Arcanum Scepter, so here is his cricket bat. He's ready to cause some trouble with that. Is that a drill in the back?
Yes, it's a drill, man. Wow, I can't believe you actually heard that.
Just somebody getting stuck in. It's like construction over there. But Tiny has got his cricket bat ready to cause, like, look at that, 216 damage, and he hasn't got his level 3 ult yet. It's going to get nastier and nastier. But now, of course, just needs some attack speed because he's going to be very slow once he levels up again.
Yeah, you can go either for the Assault Crest or the Mask of Madness. I think Assault Crest is a bit more a stable item. Mask of Madness is a bit gimmicky. It can work, definitely it can work, but in general, it's not all that reliable. As we are going to see, Jackal going to miss Shaitan. Shaitan gets tossed back in. Invis goes, Holy Persuasion. Shaitan may live. Oh, he was on about 50 HP when he got sent back there.
I thought he died.
That ulti from the Queen of Pain, I thought it would have sealed the deal as well. And Musican needs to be careful. He's got BKB, but he does not have the nighttime.
I've got to say, that was a fantastic technical toss there from Tiny. Great setup, just to be saved by Godot. Smart moves there, and he has actually picked up, did we call out the Vlads? He's got a Vlads there, and it's just going to help them with the push, going to help them, in fact, it's just going to help everybody out. Especially Ballinar, who has actually got a decent amount of damage once he's... I mean, they're stacking those damage auras. It's actually, I'm pretty sure Vlad's, the damage from Vlad's as well as Vengeful, the command aura from Vengeful stack, do they not?
I'm not actually sure.
I'll pay attention when they get in range again.
I don't know if they do, to be honest. I don't think they do. I think in Dota 1 it was the same, the damage was the same aura, you'd still get the plus armor, the H, and the mana regen aura, but the actual damage aura I'm not too sure of.
Actually, I'll try and find someone who's out of range. Both of them.
You'd have to, well, the effect might be there, but I'm not sure if you still get to, like, the damage from both.
Yeah, the marker is there. Yeah, the marker is there, but like you said,
yeah,
there's other effects.
It's under the effect of Vladimir's aura, so are you getting damage or just the armor and the mana? I don't know. You have to do the actual mathematical calculations.
Well, I'll just notice if one they're in the effect of one, if they've got more, randomly more when they get both. I'll just keep an eye out for that. I'm just looking at Windrunner. She's sitting on 1,500 gold. She's not too far away from finishing up a Hex. That will definitely help them out a lot. Just what is time? I mean, I would like to see a Mask, just because it's such a swing big. It's either a big hit or a big miss item. It's just a lot of fun to watch. We're going to see how it turns out. But like you said, yeah, definitely. The Assault Cuirass is a much more reliable, much more stable item, but I just think it just doesn't have the chance to go huge with it. And when the game is slowly creeping in Aeon's favour and it's not looking that good for Aeon in the late game, I think this is the kind of thing, like, they need the go big or go home sort of attitude in this situation. Or
they know they need to make something happen, and it's going to have to come from the Tiny. He's going to be... If Aeon win a team fight, though, with the Ags on Tiny, they can take down buildings ridiculously fast. So that is going to be something to look out for. They've got Drums up on Enchantress now. Enchantress, though, still level 9, is really suffering here. Godot as well, under-leveled, only level 10. So definitely the two jungle heroes are a bit behind.
Lassar asks, what does Arcanums do for Tiny? It gives him that big cricket bat of a tree he's carrying right about now. Also gives him a bonus damage as well as makes him cleave, if I remember correctly. In fact, does it say on the tooltip? Yeah, there we go. He gains a cleave and it does a whole bunch of extra damage to buildings as well as the cleave as well. So yeah, it is a big nasty cricket bat and you smack people in the face with it. Plus, I mean, you get to pick up a tree and carry it around. Why not? Why not?
It looks damn cool. That's reason enough. Yeah. I remember when you first had the Ags on Tiny, when you leveled up the grow, you wouldn't be actually holding the tree. It would just be like coming out of your ass, and it just looked completely messed up.
Well, it was like coming out of his butt.
Yeah, they've actually changed the graphics so that when you level up your ultimate, you're actually holding the tree now.
Okay.
When it was first introduced in Dota 2, you weren't actually holding the tree. It was just kind of like sticking out of weird locations.
That's a bit random.
Yeah, it was not something Velvet entirely perfected.
At the time, I'm just. In fact, doesn't in Dota 1 he carries a leak, doesn't he? It's not an actual tree, it's like a leak or something. Or is it a full-on tree?
I'm not sure how that works. I remember when it used to be the animation when you had to actually pick up a tree, like a proper tree, but I haven't seen it recently.
And Queen of Pain with 2,100 gold. What do you think, Queen of Pain? Do you think stacking another Hex is going to do it for them, or do you think she needs to try and make her auto attack relevant in this situation?
Maybe it's hard. Maybe there's I don't even know at this point. It's one of those things where whatever item if Queen of Pain goes for damage, Queen of Pain is going to be quite squishy, and if you get caught by a stun, a silence will go down very quickly. Does have the BKB, of course, but doesn't really have the attack speed to go for something that's pure damage. But which is why you'd probably see a Sheepstick up. I don't think Sheepstick is going to give Queen of Pain what Aeon need to win these fights.
We'll see, as Mirana, like you said, Mirana very, very close to that monkey. And once they get a monkey picking bar, it's going to be so hard to do. She's already got the mantle. She's got it. She's still carrying that Aegis, actually, that they nicked. Still carrying that Aegis, and once she gets a monkey king bar, I think they'll probably be ready to try and try and push down to a. In fact, do they have the pipe? I think we do have a pipe on AL, on Absolute Legends. Oh no, yeah we do. Enigma's carrying the pipe. There we go. Oh, who's that cut out? Who's gone? Oh, Musico.
Yeah.
Oh. This could be trouble. All right. So what's the ruling here? We wait 5 minutes and then it's up to the teams, or?
I'm not for pauses.
Yeah.
I believe it's just a courtesy thing. As long as it's something within reason, we can allow it.
Okay.
As teams are willing to stay paused, then it's fine. But after a certain point, music is reconnected, so it'll be okay here.
Okay. Actually, music is still in Singapore. I thought he'd moved to Australia. That's the last thing I heard.
Australia. Yep, he's been in Australia for a while.
I know somebody.
He lives in Sydney.
Okay, I know somebody. Yeah, Shaitan just said Singaporean internet there, so maybe he's back for the holidays or something. I don't know.
I think it's a bit of an ongoing joke with them.
Oh, okay. Oh, Bleak was always a spy, apparently.
Yeah, these guys are good friends. Aeon and Absolute Legends, they know each other for a while. King, the Aeon, the captain from this game, has actually played as a stand-in on numerous occasions for AL.
Okay.
Back when Risk was sort of starting to work more, and we had to find someone to replace Risk, he acted as a stand-in for us for a couple of weeks, I believe. There was a couple of different tournaments where he played as a stand-in. So these guys are all good friends, and Musico, of course, used to be on Aeon as well when he lived in Singapore. So these guys know each other well, which is always good to see.
I'm just looking at the chat. Like yesterday, it was like tons and tons of racism. A lot of people arguing over like just being racist about having Asian languages in the chat, and now everybody is fighting over like they're having the argument over League of Legends, Dota, and Hon. It's just every night.
Why not?
Every night, got to find a topic to rage about. What are we going to have tomorrow? What is going to be the rage topic for the night?
Depends what match we've got, I guess. Or it depends if there's a Filipino team who's going to show up.
Well, there's a Filipino team. They'll automatically be they'll be the scapegoat for the night. Yep.
There's not. Tomorrow we've only got 3 matches. So Ridder vs DK, Ridder vs Aeon, and then Aeon vs Myth. And by the looks of it, those are 4 very reliable teams to show up on time. I haven't dealt with Ridder much, but as far as I know, they will show up.
Yeah, well, DK were ready to go before the match. Yeah.
DK, Aeon, Myth, these guys. I think tomorrow will go smoothly. That is the hope. Although sadly we've only got 3 games, not the 4 that we're... Well, actually no, I can't say we've had 4 tonight or yesterday. What am I talking about?
It might even be the most games we've ever had on one night if Mineski pull a no-show again.
Yeah. I'm being messaged now as they are saying they are ready for their game once this game ends, so that's a good sign.
It is a good sign. What about Giggles? Have we still got Giggles? I know I saw Pretty Little Lies before. Of course, is this his
yes,
team?
Well, they tried to join, and they wanted to go up against Aeon or Absolute Legends. They had all 5 in the game. They're like, come on guys, give us some spots here, but no, it wasn't their game.
Oh, fair enough. Oh, no, pause again. All right.
Pause.
Justin AFK.
Justin. Oh,
are they trolling or? Oh, okay, still hanging. All right. Gonna be like last match where is anybody in danger? Did they need a second to plan their escape? Which I'll give it.
Yeah.
Got to hand it ice. They took their time to plan that escape and it worked. got the brains trust together and figured it out. Crunched the numbers, figured out what the most likely angles to take were, and he dodged all of the power shots. Yeah. So looking actually. Oh.
Another reconnection.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Musica's actually sitting on 3k gold at this point, so he's heading back to base now, and I believe that's to buy his Aghanim Scepter. He's going to have it in 20 gold, so by the time he gets there, heals up, he will have that. And AL with this Ag Scepter, I think, are going to have a lot more map control and the ability to pick their fights. Pick fights will go their way. We'll see Chen hitting level 11, getting up to level 2 ulti, and I think things for Aeon are going to start looking a bit grim here.
Yeah, well, the main thing will just be watching for the Tiny, those two, as long as they can try and avoid the worst of those combos and keep the, like, I mean, we saw how influential Chen was in keeping people alive in that last, I mean, Tiny got a great technical toss-up, was so close to picking off Shaitan, close to picking him off, and then Godot sweeps him with a save there and keeps him alive, and then he came back, dropped a big-ass black hole after the Ravage was already laid down. That was big. Even though Tiny cut it off about 3 seconds in, it did the damage it needed to. So I've got to say, as long as they can keep Chen alive, he is definitely going to keep everybody else alive, as it seems.
Yep, and right now, actually, Queen of Pain, I think talking about what he was going to pick up, he's picked up an Ultimate Orb during that moment of unpause, so he's going to be going either for the Lincolns or the Sheepstick. Part of me thinks we may see a Lincolns here, just for the added survivability, but I don't know. Both are viable here, but I don't think both are going to be a deciding factor in this game. It's going to come down to whether or not Aeon can get that big combo off with the Tide Ravage. They need a Tide Ravage, they need to hit a Shackle Shot before Aeon can use their BKBs, the Manta on Mirana. They need to make sure they can take heroes out very quickly.
I'm just going to say, I'm feeling more the Sheepstick just because, like, in a game where you're losing, you're on, like, the odds are stacked against you. You need to get active, can't be passive, can't just sort of hold back and hope to be turtle up, be defensive, unless you've got the end game on your side. So when you're losing, the end game's against you. I think you need to sort of get active, get aggressive, and pick something that can help you fight and basically control fights with. And that's the Sheepstick over the Lincolns, in my opinion. I don't think the Lincolns is really going to help all that much.
Especially when you've already got the BKB for the survivability, so it's a bit redundant, but it also means you won't get picked off, although as far as pick-offs goes, it's only going to be really the arrow from the Mirana, or maybe a swapping from the Vengeful Spirit that it would block.
Which, I mean, those are two spells you don't want to get hit by, but at the same time, she's unlikely to get target fight first, because she'll be following the Tiny, she'll be following the Tide Hunter, so she'll go in with a BKB up, as long as, like, they don't jump her. As long as she's relatively, like, cautious about where she sits around, where she stands around the open, she should be okay, I think, as far as getting picked off goes.
Yep, and Musica has reconnected to Dota 2, so hopefully he's getting back in this game in just a second now.
Yes, Musica is too cool to be my friend. Godot's quite happy to be my friend. You're happy to be my friend, but not Musica.
Oh, man. Well, the thing is, I think when all these players first got Dota 2, they just like get all these ads on Steam and just accept everyone they've got, and now your friend list on Steam actually gets full. I've run into this problem like twice now, where I have to go through my friend list, delete everyone whose name I didn't recognize. Sometimes it was friends who'd actually just been using some stupid name at the time, and then just repeatedly do that.
And you delete them from Steam, then they delete you from Facebook, and then it just escalates from there. The war begins.
Yes.
I know that feel. I've since last night, I've got 10 random invites on. I've got 10 random invites on my Steam. I've also had some people add me on. I don't know how the hell they got my Skype. Some people randomly figured out my Skype, and now I have extra friends on Skype, I guess. One of those things. I must have given away my Skype account or something at some point. I can't remember putting it up on the stream though. So, Shaitan. Oh no, Musica rather. Shaitan's here. Musical. We're good to go. Finally, okay. Apparently Dota 3 is coming soon according to Dennis GG.
I believe it. Valve say, okay, Dota 2 is awesome. It's going to be so successful. Let's start working on Dota 3.
Do it right now. Oh, here comes the smoke gank though. Aeon could be in some trouble if they get